I have some great news when it comes to TOSHI, and what is that? As we all know, recently TOSHI got listed on the Coinbase listing roadmap, and I think this right here is absolutely massive. But also on top of that, TOSHI did get listed on Crypto.com. And again, it is live on Crypto.com as of right now. But before I get into that, I do want to first discuss about the Coinbase aspect because as we all know, TOSHI, it's a meme coin on the Base network, and the Base network is Coinbase's layer 2 network. So this would only make sense in my opinion. Now again, being listed on the listing roadmap, that right there is a good sign in the right direction in my opinion, because even though it doesn't necessarily guarantee 100% that TOSHI will be listed, at least that's the way I take a look at it, but at least they're planning to. And again, it only makes sense that something on Coinbase's layer 2 network does get listed on Coinbase. And I do believe that TOSHI, also on another aspect, being live on Crypto.com as of right now is absolutely massive. Crypto.com is one of the biggest exchanges out there. And as we all know, a meme coin, because naturally the use case isn't the best, it needs a lot of exchange listings. And this is beneficial because by being listed in a bunch of major exchanges, it gives great exposure, more people believe in it, the community hypothetically gets a lot stronger as a result of that. So I think this right here is very amazing news. Anyway, take a look at it, and it's about time. I think that something like TOSHI does gain its recognition because throughout this whole time, people like to say, oh, it's a bad meme coin, it's trash, but I disagree with that. I mean, come on, again, it's on the Base network after all. Now, why is this fantastic? It's because when it comes to TOSHI, it actually has a cool name origin. And let me explain why. Because TOSHI, it's actually named after Brian Armstrong's cat. Now, Brian Armstrong, co-founder of Coinbase, again, Coinbase's layer 2 network is the Base network, and then TOSHI is a meme coin on Base. It only makes sense that it is named after Brian Armstrong's cat. And we're beginning to see many of these, I should say, meme coins named after famous figures' pets do pretty good. Take a look at, for instance, Myro, named after Raj Gokhal's dog. Raj Gokhal's the co-founder of Solana. Take a look at Floki, another very famous meme coin that I made a very good call on, by the way. That right there is named after Elon Musk's dog. So it would only make sense that when it comes to TOSHI, it is named after, again, Brian Armstrong's cat. Now, not to mention as well, TOSHI, the name is very similar to Satoshi Nakamoto, allegedly the creator of Bitcoin. Some people like to say, oh, it's a group or whatever, but you know what? Satoshi Nakamoto, you take a look at TOSHI, name's very similar, and I really like this. Now, TOSHI is not all just for show, though, because it actually has somewhat of a use case. Even though I don't think it's super necessary, I still do believe that this is a good addition nonetheless, because of course there's something called TOSHI tools. Now, this right here will quite essentially help guide someone to their journey to be building on Base, not to mention what tools will they include. Some people like to say, okay, it's TOSHI tools. And again, the tools that are included will be a multi-sender, a token locker, liquidity locker, a token launcher, and even a launchpad too. So it's pretty cool. Not to mention, there's something called TOSHI Mart. Allegedly, this allows everyone to create their own meme coin without any technical knowledge. So it's basically like a meme coin launchpad. Nothing really revolutionary here, but still, it's good nonetheless. It showcases that they're not lazy, because other meme coins out there, they don't put any effort, which is actually kind of a bad thing in my opinion, because again, people care about the vibe of a project. If they feel like the project is lazy or it's like just a bad project overall, people don't really latch on to that. Maybe they will in some cases just because of the price action, but it's difficult to create any sort of longevity. But when it comes to TOSHI, because it's fundamentally amazing and the community is very passionate, I think it's something that's going to be around for the long haul. And again, that's why I think the community is very passionate when it comes to TOSHI. Now, for some people who may be wondering, okay, what is the benefit of the Base network? Let me explain, because the Base network, it's a layer 2 again. And in this case, what a layer 2 does is that it allows Ethereum to be enjoyed while at the same time not having to deal with a lot of the nonsense, like for instance, the sky-high gas fees and scalability issues. So when it comes to that right there, that's amazing because of course Ethereum is very popular. Now people may be thinking, okay, what does Coinbase know about layer 2s? They're an exchange, or like for instance, they're focused on that, right? Now some people who may be thinking this way, the way I take a look at it is that when it comes to the Base network, that is why it is built in collaboration with Optimism. When it comes to Optimism, It's pretty much one of the biggest and most reputable Ethereum layer 2s out there. So I think Coinbase, they understand that, okay, we may know how to make a good exchange, but when it comes to layer 2, we may be in over our skis. You know what I mean? We may be out of our realm here. So that's why they quite essentially, in my opinion, required the help or requested the help of Optimism. Nothing wrong with that. In my opinion, it's totally fine. Help is good in this case and in some cases too. So this right here is a thumbs up for me. So when I consider the trajectory in which Toshi is heading, 2 cents, that's still my price target for Toshi during this bull run. Keep in mind, if it were to go to that price, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $8 billion. That's around a 66x from here. It's not going to be the best upside, but hey, considering how much Toshi has grown, relatively speaking, it's not that bad. And around an $8 billion market cap isn't too bad either. We've seen Dogecoin reach over 80 billion. We've seen Shiba Inu reach around 40 billion. I'm not saying that Toshi is going to have these record-breaking numbers or it's going to defeat like a Shiba or Doge. I'm not saying that. Just achieving a glimpse of them, I think is already totally fine. I mean, anything over 10x really is a big bonus, let alone in this case, hypothetically, let's say doing an additional around 66x on top of what it already has done. Man, I don't see why this is bad at all. Not to mention, you take a look at Charles Hoskinson, who not only is the co-founder of Ethereum, but the founder of Cardano. He does predict that in the next 1 to 2 years, based on a video that he was a part of back in November of last year, in 2024, he said that he could very well see Bitcoin reaching anywhere between $250,000 all the way up to $500,000. Now, does this prediction make sense? I think hypothetically, yes, because there is over 600 million crypto owners as of right now, according to Crypto.com research. You also take a look at the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF, and just the sentiment overall. Yeah, I just don't see why this wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. Keep in mind, if we assume Charles's worst case scenario price target, again, $250,000 for Bitcoin, and best case scenario timeline, so that would be a year from November, so that's November this year. If let's say hypothetically in a make-believe scenario, Bitcoin were to let's say go to the price of $250,000 in November of this year, or let's say just near the end of this year, let's say, right? At that point, Toshi at the price of 2 cents may seem a little bit bearish, in my opinion, especially when you consider the hype for the Base network. Take a look at, for instance, there's Brett on Base, another very popular meme coin. Take a look at, for instance, Aerodrome, a decentralized exchange on Base. So when it comes to this Base ecosystem, I think this is very fantastic. I think this right here could be such a big narrative during this bull run. And I think as the bull run progresses, more people are going to understand that, hey, when it comes to Base, yeah, sure, it may be another quote-unquote layer 2, but you know what? It's Coinbase's layer 2. It's built in collaboration with Optimism. We all know that. So this right here, I think, could be a big narrative. And some people may think, okay, Base is going to grow, but something like Toshi isn't going to go along with the ride. I disagree. Take a look at Solana. When Solana popped off, what went along with the ride? Dog with hat. You take a look at, for instance, Book of Meme. They went along, right? Of course, there's other projects that went along with the ride, but also take a look at the meme coins. So I think when Base really gains that mass scale retail hype, could you imagine what happens to something like Toshi? Again, 2 cents. I don't see why not. I think it's going to go along with the ride, but even despite that, historically speaking, we do know that altcoins, they usually peak as a worst case scenario around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. So based on the last Bitcoin halving event, that would mean actually around October of this year. Not a surefire date, but I think this, if anything, adds more credibility as to how 2025 could hypothetically be a very special year for altcoins. And I really can't wait. I'm going to still be dollar cost averaging into Toshi, anytime an income, acquire, hold. And again, just wait, because 2 cents, that wouldn't surprise me whatsoever during this bull run. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's Mali the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.